Okay, hopefully everybody can see me. I'm making this video tonight. Of course, my name is Kent. The channel is EOS San Diego. I don't have my selfie stick. I actually left it in my car today, and my car is being serviced, and they didn't get it done. So this is maybe kind of a funny video. But I think I'm going to break some of the most significant news in the history of cryptocurrency tonight. So if you're watching this video, if I'm right, this could be some of the biggest news you've ever heard as far as crypto is concerned, ever. And I'm not. When you listen to what I have to say, I think you're going to agree. So hopefully I'm tilted right and you can see me. But anyway, I noticed Bitcoin is surging, and it's funny because I've been watching all the videos here in the last couple hours, and they've been made 8-9 hours ago, and Bitcoin was down around 30,000 or 30,000, and all the guys were saying, or all the video people, some are, they're not all guys, but everybody is saying, some girls, guys, everybody's saying basically that Bitcoin may be in for another dip, because if you look at the historic charts, Bitcoin could be going down. So here a few hours later, it's higher than it's ever been before. So I think they wish they would have waited a little bit to make those videos. But I think the reason Bitcoin is surging right now is because of the decision made by the comptroller of the United States of America that is allowing banks to run stable coins. Now that's not the news, so don't click off of this if you think that's what this video is about, because that's just the beginning of the video. So what that really means is it means that banks can now run the blockchain. So the comptroller of the currency, Brian Brooks, former chief legal officer at Coinbase, is allowing banks to run stable coins, meaning they can interact with the blockchain. So they can run a node on the blockchain, which is significant. And the reason that's significant is because they're opening the door for banks to interact with blockchain. There's only 2 blockchains right now that can really run the amount of activity that it takes in order to run the transactions for the banking system. And of course, now we're talking about the banking system. We're competing against SWIFT, ACH, and FedWire. So this is an enormous amount of activity, literally allowing banks to interact with the blockchain and being able to not use all the systems of money transfer that we currently use today. Wait for the EOS train to go through. So this is a huge deal. In fact, I listened to a guy by the name of Chico Crypto, and he was talking about one of the senators or one of the congressmen had entered legislation saying that banks could not run stable coins, and he said that was a big deal. Well, that's not what has happened. What's happened is that person that was going to write that legislation has been absolutely demolished, and now they're allowing banks to run stable coins. And like I said, there's only two blockchains that can run that kind of activity or have the ability to do it, and it's EOS and Tron. EOS and Tron are the 2 blockchains that can handle the activity to run transactions and compete with SWIFT, ACH, and FedWire. Okay, so literally now there's an incredible amount of transactions ready to take place. And of course, we know Ethereum has trouble scaling, and we know that Bitcoin doesn't run smart contracts. Who will be the blockchain that is going to run all these transactions? Tron or EOS? Okay, that's the first part of this news. The second part of this news is who became a block producer recently for EOS? Google. So who would be entrusted to run the entire banking system as a validator? The 21 block producers that they currently have, or the new block producer that's just coming online or is online very, very, very recently, Google. Literally, Google could become the largest bank in the world, or running most of the banking transactions in the world from the EOS blockchain. That's the news that I wanted to tell you. You're literally looking at history being made. And if that's the case, EOS is going to be very popular. And if that's the case, you're going to continue to see Bitcoin take off and go up like mad, because they are now allowing banks to interact with the blockchain. So blockchain technology is literally going to run the banking system by allowing banks to interact with the blockchain, allowing banks to interact with stable coins on the blockchain. That's the news I'm breaking tonight. And I think I'm the only person that's breaking this news, and I'm the only person that understands this. Simply because of my my long-term understanding of EOS, or running an application on EOS, and me just not really kind of like fitting the pieces together. It never made sense to me. Why would the Security and Exchange Commission favor EOS and give them a waiver? Why would Google become block producers? None of this made any sense to me. I mean, it's just like, why would EOS be back there in Washington D.C. doing press conferences and having people at their meetups that are literally people from the Treasury Department? I just couldn't get it. I mean, why was this all going on? I mean, it didn't really make sense. I liked it, but it didn't really make sense. I didn't understand it. Now I understand it. Now I put the pieces together. Google is a validator for EOS, and EOS is going to be the blockchain that the banks are going to clear all their transactions through on the blockchain, interacting with the blockchain. And literally this could be, coming out so quickly because, and I hear, I'm not sure, but it sounds like the two senators from Georgia could be Democrats, meaning they could want to be getting stimulus payments out quickly. And this is a quick way for them to do it digitally by having it done through the blockchain, and the banks being able to run it through the blockchain and being able to use a super power like Google to do the transactions and be able to be trusted enough to do the transactions. I mean, right now we have 21 block producers with EOS that are very trusted, but are they really of the significance of a Google? Are you going to put the entire banking system in the hands of these 21 block producers without having Google there to back everybody up and validate it and run it and make sure if anybody goes down that Google can sit there and pick up the slack? This is literally history being made. Google could be running all transactions for the U.S. banking systems or banking systems across the world here very, very shortly, as banks are able now to interact with blockchain. So come on, man. This is absolutely the most bullish thing I've ever heard. It's the most bullish news I've ever heard. And if I'm correct, this is the biggest news blockchain has ever had. And EOS is going to be part of it. I appreciate you watching.